thinking about a Bible verse this morning. I think it's in Matthew 5. I could be wrong. I don't remember the Bible verse addresses anymore, but I still remember the phrases. And one of the things that Jesus is recorded as saying is this verse. It says, "Be you perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect." What is your initial reaction when you read that? Are you thinking, well, I could never be perfect, certainly not as perfect as God? So what was Jesus talking about? What was he trying to tell his audience? Be you perfect, even as your heavenly Father is perfect. I went to the Greek Interlinear version to look at the word definitions for perfect. It doesn't have anything to do with living impeccable and not making any mistakes. It has to do with completeness, with wholeness. How does the phrase say the definition? To bring your parts into completion, into wholeness. I could only understand this once I went through the transformative journey of bringing my parts to wholeness, my compartmentalized awareness and consciousness into whole, complete consciousness, right? It's the joining of the conscious with the unconscious, with the subconscious. And once I became aware of the subconscious and became aware of all the shadow sides that I had suppressed during my lifetime, I could bring those out one by one and look at them with nonjudgment, where there was fear, anxiety, rejection, abandonment. I could look at these things that kept me fragmented and embrace them. And first of all, tell myself, it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to feel the pain of rejection and abandonment. And the healing factor was to give myself permission to be afraid, to give permission to feel the pain. Permission. When you come from a worldview of thou shalt not, all these prohibitions, permission feels extremely wholesome and healing. So I gave myself permission to feel like a failure, permission to be afraid, permission to live rejected, permission to be selfish. I had to give myself permission for so many things that were taboo, were sinful in my Christian upbringing, right? You can't be selfish. You always have to do and please others. Never please yourself. And that left me a fragmented, incomplete, unwhole, imperfect consciousness that expressed itself as a disturbed human being that was not mentally well, that was not psychologically well. when I went through that, that's when I began to understand what Jesus was teaching by saying, be perfect as your Heavenly Father is perfect. Be whole, be complete. But in order to attain my wholeness, I had to go through this journey of the dark night of the soul and find all these shadow selves, these fragmented pieces of me that I had to bring in through acceptance, non-judgment, and unconditional love. And now I am perfect as the Heavenly Father or God is perfect. It's perfection in wholeness, in whole brain living, in cohesive consciousness. All parts accepted, all parts working together. So that's what that verse means, and Jesus could not do anything for me in that regard. This is a self journey that we all have to take. We can't be leaning on Jesus all our lives and hope to find these parts of ourselves and put them back together. You and I, we have to do this work by ourselves, for ourselves, in order to become perfect.